Hey you guys, this is Mark the Geek. In this video, I want to share with you guys my personal review on the Galaxy Note 3. First of all, I want to talk about the power in this phone. This phone has a Snapdragon 800 with a 2.3 gigahertz CPU, quad-core CPU. And it also has the Adreno 330, which is the latest GPU. And of course, 3 gigabytes of RAM, which right now, as I'm making this video, this is the only phone in the market with a 3 gigabytes of RAM. Now, what does this do to you? Honestly, with all the phones that I've had in my life, short life or whatever, I still never ever had a phone that's as powerful as this one. Coming from Android, it does feel lagless. This phone has TouchWiz, which is the same TouchWiz you're gonna find on the Galaxy S4, and the Galaxy S4 had a lot of problems with lagginess. And I have to say, with these specs, I haven't noticed any lagginess whatsoever. If you do find lagginess, it's because you're looking for it, honestly. But I've done everything in this phone you could think of: watch videos, browse the web. I'm always on Flipboard all the time. And if it's slow, it's because it's my network. It's never because of the phone. No matter what launcher you throw to this phone, it will always be fast, and that's something that I've been loving about this phone. No matter what launcher I get into this phone, guess what? The experience of lagginess never changes. That's something that I truly have to give thumbs up to the Galaxy Note 3. The second thing that I love about this phone is the screen. This phone has a 5.7 inch screen, which is a Super AMOLED screen, and it is a 1920 by 1080p screen. This is an upgrade from the Galaxy Note 2 that was only up to 720p. And I gotta say, the colors in this phone is just amazing. Anything look beautiful. Even me, look at that. Even I look beautiful in this phone. And I gotta say, the colors look beautiful. No matter what you're watching, you could be watching a video, you could be watching these awesome photos that this camera takes. It doesn't matter what you see in this phone. The colors will always be nice and bright. They also feel very accurate this time around. I've had Super AMOLED before, and most of the times they are too saturated. They're too saturated. But in this phone, I feel like they actually look a lot more accurate and a lot more brighter when it comes to the colors as well. And also the blacks are super deep black. Like you see right here, these blacks are not gray. These black are super deep black. People that have Galaxy Note 2, friends that I have, absolutely, they noticed right away when I saw this. Is that the Galaxy Note 3? Just because of the screen. It said that the screen right away catches their attention. And of course the back, the design that the Galaxy Note 3 has now, with the plastic back that actually looks like leather, actually is very attractive. A lot of people that are the Galaxy Note 2 users, this actually gets their attention as well. The other thing that I like about this phone is the battery life. This phone has a 3200 milliamp battery life, and I gotta say, this is by far the best battery life I've ever had on a smartphone before. When I'm at work, that's when I do the most heavy job on this phone, which I'll be watching videos like all my shift. On the internet all the time, on Flipboard all the time, on YouTube all the time, and I listen to lots and lots of podcasts. Sometimes I do even multitasking, like listen to podcasts while I browse the web. That's pretty heavy, intense stuff. And sometimes I do some gaming as well. And with all that I have told you, I've been getting around 8 to 9 hours of battery life. That's super impressive. And the other thing that I like about this phone is this connector. One thing that Samsung is not hyping that much is the bottom connector. This is a USB 3.0 connector, which lets you transfer files a lot faster to your phone if you have a 3.0 connector on your computer. But the other benefit is that it lets you charge the battery a lot faster. you can charge this battery very fast when you're using the USB 3.0 connector. The also great thing about this phone is that you don't need the connector. Just let's say you left the connector at your home. Okay, no problem. It looks different, but guess what? It's not that different, because right here you can also connect the micro USB connector, the normal USB connector that you use on any phone. You can actually connect it here. So don't be afraid if you lose the cable, because guess what? You're still going to be able to charge the cable. But there is a difference. There is a difference when you're charging the cable, when you're charging the phone with the cable 3.0 and the micro USB. There is a difference, and it's something that a lot of Android phone has problems. A lot of people have problems with their phones charging too slow, and believe me, I have been a victim of that too. But with this phone, I am so damn happy with the battery life. When you buy a Galaxy Note phone, you buy because of two reasons. One, because you love big, beautiful screens on your phone, and two, because of the S Pen. And this is my other awesome feature about this phone. Samsung this year made changes to the Note Pen, S Pen, which is named by them, and it's a little bit more squarish. And like you see right here, it has the button right there. That's all, the only thing that it has, just a little button right there. And the side, the form factor, which is a little bit more squarish, a lot easier to handle and a lot easier to put in and out from your phone. It also launches an app which is called Air Command. Like you saw right there, when you unlock the phone, it automatically launched that. And when you hover on the screen, no matter where you at, you press this little button and you automatically get it. And this little app right here has a couple features that are very essential when using the S Pen. It has the action memo, it has the scrapbooker, it has the screen write, it has a new feature which is the S Finder, and it has a pen window. Action memo is one of my favorite features here, because it looks just like a normal pad, but it has a great feature that when you write, for example, let's say, and I write a phone number 915-111-0000. If I press right here, it will automatically mark everything that I have written there. And from here, it gives you a couple actions. From here, I could go ahead and call that number. I could go ahead and save it to my contacts. I could go ahead and message that person. I could go ahead and email this message. I could go ahead and search it on the web. I could go ahead and map it, or I could create a task from that, which is something very good, and it works spot on. I'm very surprised how great that works. The other feature that it has that's very good is the screen write. The screen write takes a snapshot of the screen and automatically gives you a lot of writing options. And for example, I could go ahead and write here and change the stylus, the way that everything looks. I could go ahead and change the ink, and I could go ahead and start writing, and this right here, writing a message. And it's very convenient when you're writing and you're picking things from the web and you want to record something and send it to you or save it for later. That's very cool. That's a very cool feature. The other cool feature is the scrapbooker. This is a feature a lot of people, professionals, might be using when they have this phone, and it's a very cool feature that no matter where you at, let's say you're on a web browser or something like that, and you see something that you like, and you could go ahead and just circle it or something like that, and it will automatically create a scrapbook. From here, you could write notes about this right here by writing a memo here. You could write any memo there, and when you're done, you could go ahead, and when you're done and everything, you could go ahead and save everything, the picture, everything, anything that you circled, anything that you've written, and you could go ahead and save it. And you will always have it there for later use or something like that. You can also here create a pen window feature. It has a pen window feature that lets you create a floating app no matter where you at. This is something new here this year. And you could go ahead and do a little bit better multitasking. Of course, this phone also has the normal multitasking that it had last year. Look at this. It looks very cool when you shrink that. It looks very nice. Let's go ahead and close that. Also has the normal multi-window, which is this right here, but this is nothing new. This lets you have two apps at the same time open. Like for example, you could have your gallery open there, and you can have your text email open here, and that's it. It does have a couple features, like for example, saving whatever two apps you have open. You could go ahead and save it over here in the bottom. You could create, if you click right here, you could go ahead and create a combination of open apps that you want to save, and it will add it to this list, which is something cool that Samsung always does, putting features in the phone. Of course, something will always stick. Some features will become gimmicky, but the great thing about Samsung is they throw so many great features on the phone that always something will always stick to you, and you will eventually use it a lot. This has a 13 megapixel rear camera and a 2 megapixel front facing camera, and both cameras take videos at 1080p. Also, the great thing about the rear facing camera is that it actually takes 4K video, which is a feature that you won't see on many phones as well. Like you see right here, it takes videos at 3840 by 2160. Now that is very, very impressive, and it also comes out very nice. The problem is that not many devices will be able to play or watch those videos because of the resolution. But the 1080p on the screen looks very, very beautiful, very good colors and everything. The pictures looks very nice, and just like the Galaxy S4, it has lots and lots and lots of great features. Everything that the Galaxy S4 camera had, it's right here. One feature that it has that the Galaxy S4 doesn't is the surround shot. If I'm not mistaken, the Galaxy S4 does not have that. And what this is Samsung clone of Photosphere. Photosphere was first brought to the market, if I'm not mistaken, by Google with the LG Nexus 4, and that's a feature that I truly love. And I was so glad to know that it was actually here, and it works very, very nice. It takes a 360-degree picture for those that don't know about Photosphere, and they look very, very impressive. That's something that every phone should have, and I wouldn't be surprised if every other phone will have it in the future. Everything else, it takes very good pictures. Like I said, this is another feature that I truly love. The beauty face is very cool, and it works very impressively. You can take pictures here, and it will automatically make the face of the people you're taking pictures look smoother, looks clear, looks beautiful. I truly like the colors that this camera gives you. I've been taking lots of pictures. I have a video where I show pictures and video of this phone, but believe me, that video doesn't do 100% judgment of the quality that this phone is capable of. When you see the pictures and videos in person, it actually looks very, very beautiful, and very, very impressive, and beautiful colors as well. And I gotta say, the videos and pictures in person, they look a lot better. When I put it to the internet, you know, they're being processed and all that. But this is a very good camera. Super impressed. One of the best cameras I've ever had in my hand. Right next to the HTC One, which was an also impressive camera, even though it was only a 4 megapixel camera, but it was an ultra pixel, which is totally different. And but this does awesome. This is very, very beautiful, and I love it for that. Now, one thing that a lot of people ask me is, how are the speakers on this phone? First of all, the speaker, it only has one speaker right here, but I am coming from the HTC One, which I gotta say, first and foremost, these speakers are not better than the HTC One. Of course, it will never be, but for having just one speaker, it sounds very good. Let me show you guys here, so you guys can see it here. Like you see, the speakers sounds very good, very loud. It makes watching videos a lot more pleasant. And you won't be disappointed because it only has one speaker, so I wouldn't be expecting that much, but I'm not also disappointed as well. So if you're looking for the best phone with the best speakers, of course you're gonna get the HTC One because it obviously has better speakers. but this has great speakers as well, and you won't be disappointed. Now, before I finish this video, I gotta say I am super impressed with this phone. I love the design of this phone. I love the fact that it actually looks a little bit like the Galaxy S2. With the camera in this position right there. I love what they did with the plastic, even though it's not leather, but it actually looks like leather and it feels a lot better in your hand. Also the screen, when you look at this phone and when you have this phone in your hand, it actually feels like you're holding a big slab device with a huge screen. That's only it's only screen with no bezels. You can see the bezels are very thin compared to other phones, and I believe compared to the Galaxy Note 2 it's thinner as well. They did make the phone a lot more narrower, so it's a lot more better to handle when it comes when you compare it next to the Galaxy Note 2 or the Galaxy Note 1. It is a lot better to handle for being a big phone. This phone actually fits in my front pocket. I work as a law enforcement officer and I have a lot of things on my belt. And sometimes I can't just put it on my pockets of my pants because, of all the things that I carry on my waist. So I have to put most of the times the phones on my front pocket. Yes, like the old guys. But I gotta say, I'm super impressed that this phone fits perfectly well. And it's so damn thin that you can barely tell that this phone is in my front pocket of my shirt. I truly love the design. Of course, some people ask me, do you get this or do you get the Galaxy S4? Do you get this or the HTC One? Honestly, I gotta say, after playing with this phone, this is my first Galaxy Note phone, so I never did use the Galaxy Note 1 or the 2. Having this Galaxy Note for the first time, I gotta say this is on another category. Phones like these deserve to be on another category, especially this phone, because when it comes to big screen phone with a stylus or S Pen or a stick or whatever you want to call it, guess what? Nobody beats Samsung. Nobody can beat the Galaxy Note phone. This is not the only phone with a stylus. I believe LG has a phone, but believe me, it can't even stand a chance when it comes to a phone, big screen phone with a stylus. It will never stand up to the Galaxy Note 3. Not now, at least not this generation of the Galaxy Note 3. And like I said, it feels after getting this phone and using it for all these days, I gotta say, it totally feels like a whole different category. I can't say that I'm holding a normal phone. I'm holding something special. And that makes me very proud of owning the Galaxy Note 3. So guys, I hope you guys like the review. I can't actually say anything negative about this phone because I really don't have it. If I would have to say something negative about this phone is that compared to the HTC One, this phone has an IR blaster right here, which lets you control the TV using an app called Watch On. Let me show you guys. This is the app called Watch On, and the problem with this app is that it's becoming a hassle to recognize my TVs. I don't know what's the problem with this version. I don't know if there's a problem. I don't know if it needs an update or not. But I have two HD TVs at home and still haven't been able to recognize my TVs. I have a Sony and a Panasonic. So I don't know what's going on there. I can't get that to recognize my channels. On one TV, I could recognize the TV, turn it off and on. Can't barely change the channels. I don't know. On my other TV, it won't recognize the Dish Network receiver. Now, that's very frustrating when comparing it to the HTC One, which totally worked spot on. Right from the get-go, everything worked right away flawlessly. The Watch On app with the IR blaster, I totally gave up with a couple tries. Maybe I'll try later on after it gets updated or something like that. But right now, that is the only negative thing I have to say about this phone. Like I said, this is a super powerful phone. This is a very beautiful phone with a big nice screen, and something that no other company can beat it is the S Pen features. So guys, I hope you guys like my review. Till next time.